Sziasztok, Janó vagyok. Közép-Európa első világra szóló podcast csatornáját hallgatjátok Magyarországról. Ez a Budapest.fm.
Hi, my name is Ray, and you're listening to the #1 podcast station in Central Europe, Budapest.fm, podcasting to the world from Hungary.
Hey everyone, we are here, Voovo Study Podcast. We are tuning in from Budapest, and I'm pleased to have my guest, Benedek Herman, here.
Hi everyone.
Nice to have you here. So, first of all, he's a guy of everything. He's an entrepreneur. He's a happy daddy of 2 dogs. He did many businesses over his career. He's just 23, and he's also a medical student. So how does all these things come together? Where did you start from?
Yeah, so saying many businesses might be a little over exaggerated, but where it comes from? Well, I was always into competition. That's what I would say. I was competing in tennis previously, and I think that's what drives me, and that's what gets me going. And now it's business. It was sports before, now it's business. And the other part, being a medical student, I think is more like something that runs in my family blood. Everyone is a doctor, so it's more like an interest of mine, and competing and trying to win and trying to overtake others is what drives me in business, I guess.
You mentioned competition in sports. So when did you start to compete in sports?
Yeah, so I think it was like starting to compete was maybe at the age of 8, 9, 10, something.
So pretty early.
Yeah, pretty early. But starting tennis was even earlier, so at the age of 5, 6, around that time. And now I'm 22, so I would say I started competing around like 14, 15 years ago.
All right. And when did you stop it? Because you said you were competing in it.
Yeah. So I stopped playing tennis over a year now. I would say 1.5 years ago. It was when I moved back from the US. I was there on a tennis scholarship, and I was competing as a college athlete. And as I moved home, I stopped completely. I might say I never even held a racket since.
All right. What was the reason you stopped it? Just by curiosity.
It might sound weird. I didn't like it. I didn't like the tennis part of it. I didn't like. I loved competing, but I didn't love going and traveling to competitions. So that's like the paradox. Like I didn't like traveling. I didn't like the whole thing. I just loved when I'm on the court and competing. But I found this drive in work. So I didn't miss that anymore. And the tennis part I didn't really like.
All right. And what are the main things that you took away from tennis and can use now in your life?
Yeah, huge things. Like cliche stuff as well, like don't give up and stuff. But like the main thing is like in tennis, everything can change in a sudden minute, and that's why you always have to hustle. So like you can't, like it's such a fast sport. You can't really like skip a beat. And now what I do is like I really try to make the most out of each day, and I don't really skip a beat, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And since you grew up basically in your teenage years doing tennis, so basically it formed your personality and characteristics.
Correct.
And what do you see? What are your competences over other people thanks to tennis?
Yeah, so over other people is not a good wording, but I think I'm very hardworking. That's it. I think I'm very hardworking. Saying other stuff like in business, I don't think I'm successful as of now, or like I don't think of it as being successful, but I'm very hardworking, that's for sure.
All right.
And it came from the sport.
All right. So please tell me about in what are you hardworking at? So what are your business? What is your business? What are your businesses?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm a medical student. It requires some serious commitment to learn in that field. So I think that is I'm very hardworking at. And businesses. So I have a startup, Voovo. Started 2 years ago. It's an application that helps students to absorb loads of difficult information. In short, so it really comes together. Like doing something to help students, especially medical students, and being a medical student really comes together. And I have some other businesses, on the side. I own a coffee shop. I co-own a coffee shop.
Oh wow!
I work at a family business which produces innovative baby clothings, and yeah, basically these are the stuff I do.
Amazing. These are a lot of things for a pretty young guy. Congratulations. So you said you're a medical student. What are you exactly studying? What is your major?
So if you go into medicine, the first 6 years is general medicine, and then you can go into other fields. But first 6 years is the same for everyone, and so general medicine.
All right, and you said it comes from family. So why?
So my dad is a research doctor. He was doing research in the U.S. He was researching the coagulation cascade, and made some amazing progress on that field. My brother is a psychiatrist. My mother is not a doctor, but she's also in the field. Like she's a sleep expert.
Mm-hmm.
I have a sister who's a vet. Everyone is a psychologist. Like every other one in the family are psychologists. So it's really it's a field of it's a family of interest in science.
All right.
That's what I would say.
So it's in your blood.
It's in the family blood.
And you're following your blood. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
What do you like about to be a medical student?
It's the fact that it feels like your brain is about to explode. Like you learn.
Is it a constant feeling?
No, it's just when it's like the semester is on. Like right now, it's summer holidays. So right now, I feel like my brain is getting smaller every day. But like when it is actually like the semester, in the beginning, you don't really understand how much you can memorize, and then it's just a great feeling when you did memorize it all. And yeah, it's a pretty cool feeling. Other than that, it's also nice to sometimes have the experience to help people. Like it's the greatest thing in medicine, I guess, for me personally. But the fact that it's really rare now. So the main thing is like it's a good feeling to memorize loads of factual stuff.
Yes. So since it's a good feeling, it had to start somewhere. When was, if there were any, a time when you realized that, oh shish, I'm a medical student and I can memorize this much information?
It happens like it's still like you. How should I phrase this? It happens after, like when you did. In the beginning, you don't really know. But I mean, I'm over anatomy now, which is like the hard part. But there are so many things to come, and I'm still like I know I will study it, but I'm not confident. Like I don't know. Like I know how, but I just it's so much. But the feeling comes after that. Oh my God, I could do it. And also seeing other people doing it helps.
All right. So having that Superman feeling comes after. It's good to know.
Yeah.
And then I still have time. Good. So since you have to absorb a lot of information and get to this feeling, what are your techniques for that?
Yeah, so I was very bad at memorization. Like I couldn't really recall any kind of factual stuff. I could understand things and be good at them, but I couldn't really recall factual knowledge. So I got into like memorization techniques and learning methods, and that's how my learning process changed, and that's how we started Voovo as a company. It really comes down to like having a great process which works for you, using methods that are productive, using methods that work. It's like using the right tools and having process.
What are the right tools for you?
For me personally, I use the two well-known ones, active recall and spaced repetition. These might sound cliche to medical students, but using active recalls and spaced repetition well is not cramming. Using active recall and spaced repetition well is the act of learning and act of recalling information successfully. And a lot of people say that using like flashcards and active recall and stuff and spaced repetition is cramming, and then you don't really understand the topics. But I disagree a lot. I think using these methods wrong is that, but using them right is a really great thing, and it saves so much time for everyone I know who uses them right.
So we can say that your study religion is active repetition and spaced call, right?
The other way around, active recall and spaced repetition.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it is, and also like in watching great lectures. Like lectures help a lot. If I can find good lectures on YouTube, they help me understand topics, and then it's easier to remember later.
All right, but to watch these lectures and to sit there and to pay attention, it includes a lot of concentration, right? So how do you achieve that concentration over time?
So concentration is. I watch lectures two ways. First is when I do something and I passively just watch the lecture to feel like I'm learning, and that's the bad part. But when you actively listen to lectures, it's actually not coming from me. It's coming from a friend of mine who is a much better lecturer, watcher, and rememberer than I am. What he does is that he watches the lectures, and every 2 minutes he stops it and repeats those things that have been said.
Right.
And then he got so good in this that he doesn't actually have to stop the video anymore. So he repeats the stuff that has been said simultaneously while listening to the new things. And he says that it's amazing, and he can remember so many things. I couldn't yet become a professional in this, but I think it's a great method.
All right. Sounds good. So it's pretty much like you have to evolve a whole other brain which fits into the medical student's life, right?
Well, yeah. But it's really not that. It feels like extremely hard in the first part, but then when you've done it, it feels like if you have
get used to it.
Yeah, it's like in the first, like when I saw how much is it, it's like it wasn't really bad. It was like shocking. But then when we are done with it, it's like with like one subject, let's say, it's as I said, it's a great thing that you know that it was not that bad. So it really helps you to think bigger, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And to organize all of these things, to pay attention to lectures, to watch them, to learn the stuff, to go through books. How do you organize your time?
So I set goals every single day, what I need to get done, and I set them usually low, so like doable, not too much. And then when I'm done with them, I set new goals, but only usually like 95% of the time only for that day. And that's how I run. So like I set the goals, I try to set the time limit to achieve those goals, and when I'm done, I instantly set new goals, and only for that day. So like if I'm done at 8, I'm not gonna like 8 p.m. I'm not gonna set goals for tomorrow. I'm not gonna set days for that thing that day, because if I set them tomorrow, or like I have to get done with this tomorrow, I will not really do anything about it today. So I only set, like, even if it's like a big project, I put it down to like smaller chunks, and let's say you have to write 10 pages. I say I'm gonna write 2 pages today, and I'm not gonna say I'm gonna write 10 pages until tomorrow.
So it seems to me like you are very particular about how you manage your time, in particular about what you do. So it's not just about from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. I'm going to learn. It's about from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. I'm going to learn this, and this to be that good.
Yeah, and I'm actually not doing 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. I'm doing... I don't really care about that. When I feel like my brain starts to, I don't know, hurt from studying, I switch to work, and then it's like relaxing.
So you're constantly switching between between the domains.
And thing, like, people say that it's amazing that you can, like, you don't relax but no, it's like if you change from field to field, it feels like relaxing. Mm-hmm. So like I think working 12 hours a day is so much harder than studying 6 hours and working 6 hours. Mm-hmm. So I think it sounds hard, but it's really not that hard.
And it's even really not 6 hours learning, 6 hours working, but like 2 hours learning, 2 hours working.
Yeah, or sometimes it's just 20 minutes, 20.
All right. So you are setting your goals on the night before the day.
In the morning.
In the morning, and you only set a time needed for this particular goal, but you don't include at what time you want to do that, right?
Yeah, and not always the time. I'm always saying today. So, and I kind of, like, try to say the time, but the fact is that today and not tomorrow, always today.
All right. Thank you for this insight. I personally find it very useful, and I could see a lot of stuff which I also do, but there are, of course, many things that I could do better, and everyone could do better. So I hope that this one also can be helpful for the students who are listening to us now. So now, please walk me through the process of your learning, how you include Voovo in your learning process.
Yeah, so my learning process is actually like 3 steps. First, I get a general understanding of the topic I'm learning about. It's the part where Voovo is not even not anywhere. It's always like reading through a book, reading through a chapter, watching a lecture and stuff. And once I'm done with that, is when I understand the topic completely. So first I get a general understanding. I know what I'm gonna read about, and then I understand the topic like from word to word, and that's the most important part. And while I'm doing that, it's usually reading the book. While I'm doing that, I'm using Voovo to simultaneously create flashcards from the stuff I read. And that's,
are you making a notes?
I'm not making. I haven't made any notes. I drew some, but I've never made any notes.
All right.
I'm only creating flashcards and like using the stuff I read and creating flashcards simultaneously. And that's the second part of memorization or like learning. And the third part is just repeating the cards until the app says that I'm good. But yeah, so first part, general understanding. Next part, unique method of reading extremely carefully and creating flashcards simultaneously. Third part, repeating the flashcards until I'm good.
Which flashcards are your favorite, or which are you using the most?
Yeah, so I use, it's actually a funny story. When we created Voovo, the first MVP, it was done by my friend Benny. It was the worst app ever, and it only had voice cards in it. And voice cards is like a huge part of Voovo. I don't think I've created one voice card in med school. So it was, for me personally, it was not a great feature, but it is how we got started. Now I use fill in the blanks quite a lot. I use diagrams every single day, and I create flashcards with AI, which is not out yet at the moment, but I have some beta releases that I'm using, and yeah, they help a lot in learning.
All right. So do you find useful AI flashcards?
Yeah, in the way how we did it, I think it's extremely useful. Saying that you put a 2,000 pages to AI and it brings back 4,000 flashcards, that is not useful. But like just helping rephrasing a sentence or a paragraph into a question, in that case it helps. But that's the limited part I use AI for.
Right. As now I see that you built up this constant synthesis while learning, you creating your stuff that you will learn afterwards, and you are just doing this synergy between these two, right?
If I understand you correctly, yes. But I would say understanding the topic, carefully understanding the topic, and then repeating the topic.
All right.
In any way you like. So I'm using flashcards because that's what worked for me. But if you go through a general understanding, a careful understanding, and a repetition, that's going to work in any single, and it doesn't matter how you do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you learn with music or without music?
Depends. If I'm really trying to concentrate, I learn without music. If I'm very tired, I learn with music. But I wouldn't say I'm more productive with music.
Right. Since you came a long way and you have a well-developed routine how to learn, retrospectively, what was your biggest challenge or obstacle that you came over?
Obstacle in learning or obstacle in building the startup?
Obstacle in learning.
Obstacle in learning. Yeah, so I think the biggest obstacle was to create flashcards. And then we made the app to create flashcards fast. And yeah, that's how we overcame it. But it's true, obstacle in learning, when I knew how, my biggest obstacle was to create flashcards. It was such a big obstacle that we decided to build an app for it. Every time you do something new, you do something big in terms of it takes a lot of time and energy for you to make, just like a Voovo, you needed to feel that pain pretty heavily. And I did. I was struggling to create those any kind of form of something that could be repeated later. In this case, flashcards, and it was such a big pain that we decided to get on and create an app for that.
Mm-hmm. Good. It's a very good story. Thank you for sharing that. Man, it's just very good to feel your energy. You are so enthusiastic about everything, and you are just so get to go. You have these daily goal settings, and you are really encouraged to do everything that you set for yourself. It's such a blessing that we could have you here.
Thank you so much. But just going back a little bit, daily goal setting, you shouldn't think about amazing table of the most detailed goals. It's more like a note of do this, do that.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple.
If you took a look at it, it didn't feel like I'm very organized, but it works for me.
All right. Simple saying. Where can we send people to find you on the internet?
So if you go onto Voovo.study, you can always shoot me an email to Benedek, Benedek@Voovo.study. And if you want to book a meeting to talk about your learning process, any other things, you can book that through the website as well.
All right. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for having me.
You're listening to Budapest.fm, Europe's premier podcast channel, bringing you the best interviews, culture, and entertainment from the heart of Hungary's vibrant capital city, Budapest, Hungary. Whether you're a resident or a visitor, tune in on Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcast, and discover the best that Hungary has to offer. Only on Budapest.fm.